Okay, we're on air. Okay, welcome everyone. Today is January 29th. We've got 2 more days left in January, and I'm Jess Markowitz, Director of Jessy's Angels, Saving Lives.
Liz Blaschko, Director of Team Courage Over Comfort.
And Lauren Cliff, Director of Team Choose Your Destiny.
Yay! Okay, so we are all here today together to share with you what to expect and how to plan for your world tour. If you are a seasoned consultant, we used to call it Spring Sprint, and now it's called World Tour because it's now around the world. We are growing all over the world, which is amazing, and we're combining trainings to make it easier on the home office to kind of just get it done, and all those other locations to have the same type of training that we have from the home office. So it's awesome. So I have some props that we're going to share with you, and then we're all going to give you just ideas and tips of what to expect and kind of plan on a traveling basis and all of that fun stuff. So one of the biggest things that I personally believe as a business owner, whether you're doing this just as a hobby, but you're still going to World Tour, is that you have a opportunity to have a tax write-off for what you're traveling and all your expenses. So I always recommend to have some type of a manila envelope. You can get, you know, a zip up, whatever you want to use, but something that you'll be able to put all your receipts of your trip for World Tour in and have it safe so you can go home and log it for your tax expenses. So for instance, your food, your lodging, that's pretty much your registration. I would probably put in there, just print it out so you have it with you. You do have it in your workstation as something you can print, but it's just good to have everything in paper, just so if anything confusion goes on, oh, it doesn't look like you're registered, you can go, bam, there's my receipt, I'm registered. And so now a lot of people ask about, you know, I'm driving there, you know, can I write off my gas? You have to choose either or when you are utilizing your for taxes purposes, your car. So if your car is only for your business, then you can do your gas, but mileage tends to add up more, so you'll be writing off your mileage. So keep track from the location that you leave from, which is likely going to be your home, to your World Tour location and all the way back, and what you do. Now, if you're going to go visit your friend, you know, 2 hours away, that's not considered a business trip unless you're going to be doing a party there while you're out that neck of the woods, or you know, talking about the business opportunity, whatever. But be honest, okay? And so make sure you're tracking your mileage, and then when you get back, you can log it. And here in Nevada, I'm not sure if it went up, but last year it was 56.5 cents a mile. That's a lot. So we'll find out soon. So, okay. What else do you guys see here that you guys want to share, so I'm not doing the whole thing?
I like to bring a calendar for booking parties. If you're in your city that you live in and you go to a spring sprint and you meet people at a restaurant or at a coffee shop that are necessarily with the World Tour, I'm sorry, I said spring sprint, you can always offer the opportunity to people and set your appointments so you have a calendar with you, whether it's on your calendar or on your phone. It's always good to have that available and ready to go as well to make those appointments, because every opportunity is an opportunity.
And she's notorious for going out of town and booking parties and bringing home new consultants that, or not bringing home, but having new consultants in the town that she travels to. So definitely use that tech, because that is the reason why we have it in sister cities that are not maybe in your exact town. You're lucky if it is, but actually it's good to have to travel out of your circle of your community, because that's a way to build your business. So that's an awesome tip.
Along with that, carry your samples, your business cards, and your drawing slips. So you can, if they're not willing to make an appointment right there and then, get their information, give them yours, and share a little love with them.
Awesome. A lot of people don't realize that the first step is to get that, to get your information into their hands. Sorry, Liz. That is the first step. But the second step and the most vital is those leads. You want to leave the ball in your court. So if they go, oh, this is so great, oh, this is wonderful, they're at lunch, you meet at a restaurant and they have lunch and they put it down and they get up and they leave. Well, they may be very interested in actually buying from you, hosting from you, joining with you, and they have no way to contact you. So if you don't get one of these bad boys, they're missing an opportunity, and so are you. So you can say, hey, I met you at whatever, Starbucks, when I was in town for this event, and I haven't heard from you, so I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. And I can't tell you how many times people go, oh my gosh, I lost your information. Thank you so much for calling me. So that's why Becca Levi calls these lottery tickets, because you never know what's going to turn out from these little leads. And they may say they're just interested in buying, but they may end up going, you know what, I actually do want to book a party, and you meet 30 new people in a new town that you never would have met. So awesome.
Also bring recruit packets.
Which I have it in my purse and I didn't do it. So
I handed all mine out the other day and didn't replenish, which is shame on me. But
that's good.
There's great YouTube videos of what to put in them. They basically recommend if someone handed you an opportunity packet, what would interest you? So maybe information on the incentive trips, or the compensation plan, a catalog, a sample, your business card. Label everything, absolutely everything. Spotlights, you can find them in our workstation, or you can go to teammakeithappenTools.com. They have a couple there. Your story. So just things that people can relate to and things that people can get to know you. Stick it in a folder and just be prepared. Have it in your backpack or your bag, because when there's 2,000 Scentsy consultants in a city, we're going to catch people's eyes and people are going to be curious. So definitely have that on hand.
Oh yeah, they're always like, what is all these crazy people that say Scentsy everywhere?
Yeah.
What's all the purple people about? That's awesome. Okay, so you guys notice I've been snacking, right? You're like, why is she eating when she's trying to do a training video? Well, there's a reason. One, I'm hungry. And two, is that we're going to be sitting and training all day. And yes, we're going to have a lunch break, and they may give you a potty break depending. Well, you're going to be going back and forth from breakout sessions, so you have a chance to do a potty break or grab some snacks. But depending on what you end up doing, maybe you are driving with somebody else, but they don't want to go anywhere and you have no way of going to get lunch. Now, yes, most locations, don't quote me because I don't know all the locations that are in the United States that they're doing, but most of them do have some type of a snack bar that you can get like a little pizza or a sandwich or something. But I encourage everybody to bring little snacks. I'm hypoglycemic, so if I go too long without something, I can get really shaky. But one of the biggest things I suggest to have always on hand is almonds. Almonds are great protein and they tide you over longer than you realize. So I also recommend like seeds. Personally, I don't think they should be unsalted, so they're more healthy for you, but that's your choice. So the little things like this, like a little bag with Ziplocs, you can throw it in your backpack, which I definitely suggest you have, along with, plenty of water, bottled waters. Some locations don't let you bring in like Starbucks. So I learned the hard way my first spring sprint. We just stopped at Starbucks, got a big old venti coffee when I drank coffee, and just spent like, how much are they now? Like friggin' $6 or something. I don't know. And I got to the door and they're like, sorry, we have a Starbucks in here, so we don't let you bring outside anything. And I was like, are you kidding me? So, so I had to like, drink a little bit. Yeah. Then I was like, ah, and then I had to chuck the rest. And so I was so upset. So, maybe arrive a little early and find out, do a little research, maybe, call the convention center that you're going to and ask those type of things. So, also bring like cash or, cause they might be those tiny little vendors that only take cash. So I suggest to always have cash, which will also be helpful for like your parking, tickets, which make sure you get a receipt for your parking because you can write that off. Remember that. Okay, what else?
I would say bring a sweater. I am always cold, always cold. And you never know if the convention is going to be super hot or super cold, or it might change from room to room to room. So bring a sweater. Bring comfortable shoes because the convention center might be huge. You might be walking to the convention center. It might be cold, so wearing sandals would not be the best idea. I learned the hard way at Tony Robbins' convention. He keeps it like 40 degrees. I literally was like bringing blankets and trying to like cover my toes. So just be prepared. Tissues, you might cry. Cough drops, you're gonna be screaming. Chapstick. What else?
Measures. Oh, so real fast, I have to share a story. Cute story that she just said to piggyback on that. Director Heather Miller of Team Endure, she's not with us today because she's dealing still, unfortunately, with some personal situations that if you're on her team, you know. So bless her and her family. We hope she gets through this time very, fast. We love you. Anyways, her first spring sprint, she was in New Jersey and she went all by herself, and she wore very uncomfortable shoes because she wanted to look cute, which we all want to look cute, right? And that was one detail I forgot to tell her, is to wear comfortable shoes. And her location was huge and it was like in the city. And so she had to walk like from the parking garage, like a few blocks on the cement. And then she had this huge location. So the first, I was like, how was your spring sprint? Which is, that's what they called it back then. She's like, why didn't you tell me not to wear comfortable shoes? And so I was not her best friend at that point. I was not her friendly, favorite person. That's what I was going to say. So yes, comfy shoes, whether you like wearing sneakers or not. My mom is a heel type of person. And I said, Mom, you got to wear sneakers. She's like, I don't even own any. I said, well, Mom, invest in them. I promise you. Let me tell you how she thanked me so much. Her first spring sprint was like, oh my gosh, if I would have been wearing my shoes, I would have left. So yes, comfy shoes.
I just had it and I lost it. Oh, like a backpack or a bag, because you will be getting stuff to take home. So something to kind of lug your stuff around in. And of course, all your snacks and stuff too.
Yes.
Put in that bag. Mm-hmm. I know, to say, like a notepad and a pen. So they'll usually give you like a workbook, but it's nice to have your own little notepad to kind of jot down all your different stuff. Definitely a couple pens, highlighter for sure. Phone charger, or you've got your little backup ditty there.
Yes, this will be helpful, these tiny little doodads, because we all tend to take our pictures with our phones now, right? And you might be doing videos on your phones, and so it takes up a lot of your battery. So you want to be able to recharge because you're going to be there all day. So make sure you bring your charger with you, and
a portable charger.
Yeah, a portable charger if you can, which would be really helpful. Mm-hmm. I personally always recommend some type of like I put this in my backpack. That's marketed, or one of these guys that you can put a lot of stuff in. It's like it opens up and you can put your notebook in here. You can put your pencils, everything, something, because you're going to be sitting for a long time and you're going to be taking notes. And so this is going to help you feel like you're taking notes like a lot more comfortably. And just remember that this is about your business. You're going to be receiving a lot of information and you're not going to be able to remember it, first of all. So you want to be able to go back and have really good, neat notes. So if you're like writing on your thigh, it's probably going to be like this, right? And you're not going to be writing very neatly. And you're going to go back and be like, oh, wow, I have a lot of notes that I can't read. And I don't know what I learned. So these are little techniques I learned over the years of like, oh, okay, so now I need to make sure I have something that's not floppy like this, to help me out with that. So I feel like I'm on a desk or something. And when you're not comfortable, the more likely you're going to stop doing notes. You're going to stop listening, and because you'll develop like kinks in your shoulders and in your hips and stuff because you're like writing weird, and you're not going to be having a good time, and your mind isn't absorbing what you should be absorbing. Just remember, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your business. So you don't want to be halfway there and halfway not. This time that you're probably taking off of work, if you have a full-time job or a part-time job, time away from your family. And so you're spending money to get this information so you can make more money and build your business and help other people. So prepare yourself to be as comfortable as possible. Like Lauren said, if her feet are freezing, she's thinking, my feet are freezing. She's not thinking about the whatever somebody's saying, and that one nugget that she may be looking for, she missed it because all she's thinking about is my feet are freezing. So though these are things you guys are probably thinking are silly, that we're saying bring a sweater like we're your moms, but there's reasons behind it. It's because we want you to be able to be comfortable and absorb as much as possible. Okay. Oh, I brought this, these little bad boys that you get from the home office, these charms and stuff, wear them, you know, be proud. This is the time to wear your Scentsy gear, your name badge, you know, whatever you're proud of in your business, make sure you're rocking it, because one, you're going to be marketing your business when you go to lunch, when you go to the gas station, just all that stuff, and meeting people, the people at the convention center. Let me tell you a short story about my first reunion. I was literally the only person, you know, talking to the people checking us in. Now, the majority of people, they're just help from the town. They don't know, they're not Scentsy people. They're not from the home office necessarily. They may be, but they also hire outside help. So, you know, I recognize that, and I'm sitting here talking about, do you even know what Scentsy is? I can't tell you how many times I've been to a home office event, and they've told me that they have no clue what this is about. They're working this event. We're all crazy running around Scentsy people. It says Scentsy, and they don't know what it means. They don't know what it is, and nobody's saying anything. So I've recruited people onto my team, and you guys are probably, hi, how are, Mia, if you're there. And there's several of you actually that you worked the event, but you had no clue what it was. And it's because I actually talked to you and shared, do you care what this is about and what we're doing here? Do you know why we're here? So don't miss that opportunity. Talk to the people and make sure they have all your information. You get theirs. Let them experience, say, hey, you could be here with us next year. We have so much fun. So these are things that you can show them. Look at these cute little charms that I have, you know, on your bracelet. This is what I earned because I sold $2,000 last month, or I promoted, or whatever they say, you know, I earned my shooting star. You know, a lot of businesses don't reward them the way we get rewarded and get recognized. So you want to market this stuff at these type of events. You're also marketing to other team members that you may have on your team, or even they may not be on your team. And, you know, they might go, wow, that bracelet's really cool. How did you earn that? And they be like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option. So you're inspiring them to go, well, I want a bracelet like yours. So what do I got to do? And they all of a sudden, you know, they go home with a tool or an inspiration that they never would have had just because you decided to wear your Scentsy bling that day or whatever. What else?
I was going to say last year was my first, it was spring sprint back then. And we got literally this huge box for your product kit. So I would definitely recommend, if you can, park at the venue, or we were lucky, we stayed right across the street. We got there early and registered and got our box and went through and was like, okay, let's keep this with us today. Keep this with us today. You know, your workbook and all that. And then all the other stuff that was like, I don't want to lug this around for 8 hours. We took it back to our car. So if you have that option of parking close or, you know, short walking distance, I would definitely recommend getting there early and getting through your box and figuring out what you want to keep, and then taking your box to your car so you're not carrying around this huge thing. Or I saw people who had like the little foldable hand carts with them and just brought their stuff with them all
They're
day.
smart. Yeah.
So those are just some options, because you're probably going to get a huge box of stuff. So keep that in mind.
If you do get, we don't know, every year is different, but if you do get like a bar or any type of wax that can melt, depending on where you are, remember your car gets hotter than it is outside. So those are the things you want to be able to throw in your backpack, like a sack of mini testers possibly, or a couple bars. So, I mean, I know these may sound like common sense to a lot of you guys, but I can't tell you how many team members in the past was like, oh, I forgot there was wax in my car, and it was all melted when I got back after the whole day. And so we're just trying to help you think of things that, you know, sometimes you're just so excited that you may not, it's a common sense thing in a normal day, but you're so excited, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go throw everything in. And you don't, because what usually happens is most consultants don't even look in their box. They're like, oh, I'll look at it later. And they just throw their box in their trunk. And then that's how their stuff gets melted. So Just know that it's possible there might be something in there that can melt. So open it up, check out what's in there, what needs to be taken out that you can throw in your backpack, and then leave everything else in. So that was a great, I would have forgotten to talk about that.
Or if you're traveling and you have a cooler already with you with drinks and stuff, just throw it in your cooler.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Great. Yeah, have some cold water in there. Remember, wherever you're going, you're working, right? So having like a pouch party ready to go. If you're at lunch and you start talking about to your waitress or whoever, if you have a good conversation going, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm on a trip and I'm at an event, so I can't really show you what this is about. So have your business ready. This is so small. Throw it in your purse. Have it, and so you could put it on there and start smelling it at the restaurant, and it can start conversation. Think about, you're there to build your business. And how are you going to do that? You're by meeting new people. How is the new people going to be met? Well, creating situations, creating conversation. So taking these out, putting this on your, your table at lunch, and just start smelling and going, oh, Liz, smell this one. Do you like this one? Do you like this
Especially
one?
with the new scents that you're going to be getting.
What do you think this one is?
Oh,
Mandarin
goodness,
moon.
smile.
It's most close. Orange, amber.
Orangey
They're
blue.
both right. There's orange in both of them. I'm bad at that. I would never win at that game. But anyway, but three of us, if we were having lunch together, somebody's going to notice that we're sitting there smelling something that looks like lip glosses, and their waitress is going to go, what's that? Oh, let me tell you. Here, you can smell it. Oh, my heater just kicked on. You're dying, aren't you? Because I am.
That's great.
Do you? Are you cold? Okay. Okay, so we talked about, so now we have to talk about what to expect as far as training. What they talked about at the Monday call. No, you can have it. Yeah. It was just an example. So, I just brought these as, if you have any type of Scentsy water containers, this is from our cruise that we just went on for leadership. These are conversation starters. So if you're drinking water and it said, well, I put this in the dishwasher and I wasn't supposed to, so it took the Scentsy off of it, but it says Scentsy right there. But anyways, if you have any type of things like this, these start conversations. So instead of just if you don't have this, bring your water because you need to be hydrated. But if you do have something like this,
You can always tape your business card around it.
isn't she awesome? I would have never thought about that. But yes, you can. Okay. So, but bring anything that you can market yourself. Remember, you're a walking billboard. So anything that can start a conversation, which is awesomeness. Okay. What were we just talking about?
The training to expect.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So do you want to start with the Monday call?
The Monday call?
You said that there were some things that went over on the Monday call.
Very briefly, not too much, but as far as the training is concerned, you're gonna the kit that if any of you purchased that $25 kit that was offered to be purchased, you will be utilizing that during the trainings. There's a lot of hands-on prompts, I could say, that are going to be used along with the different sessions that you're going to be offered to attend. So with that kit, you'll have everything that you will need to be part of those classes and be a hands-on experience for you on how to use those tools, and take lots of notes.
I'm glad you said that because I can't tell you, usually I do some type of a breakout with every World Tour or Spring Sprint. And so I can't tell you how many people last year in all my breakouts, they were like, oh, I didn't know I need that. And they put it in their car. So the tools that we got with our kits, they weren't able to actually see and utilize and get taught on a visual level with touching it and feeling it and seeing what we're talking about. So that's something I'm so glad you brought up, because what Lauren was talking about, it intertwines. Make sure you don't put that stuff, your kit stuff, inside, that's your materials, business kits, in your car, because you're going to be using it. Because then you're going to be like, I don't have mine. And it's not going to connect as much if you don't have it there physically with you. I mean, yeah, you can look at the neighbor next to you, but you want to have your own experience. You want to be able to touch it, feel it, write notes. You know, maybe they ask you to write somebody's name on a postcard. I don't know what the materials you're going to be getting, but last year, a lot of my training was leadership. And so we had some leadership postcards that were created, and they're still available. I think they're on closeout right now, but recognizing your team. And so what I told everybody to do is pull out this specific postcard and think of somebody that you feel, you know, is, you know, shining the light, or whatever the name of the card was, and put their name on it right now. And so when you go home, all you have to do is write a little note and address it, but you know who this is going to. So if you don't have that material with you, you may forget and not actually take that action. So it's making you take the action right then, and then it's going to give you one more, it's more likely that you're going to follow through with that action completely when you go home, if you start at the actual world tour.
Yes. So I pulled up the agenda
for
World Tour, and it's also available on your news tab. If you click on news tab, and then at the top there's news by category, and you just click on events, and it's in there. But so one thing is, if you're doing walk-in, definitely get there early. If they do run out of product kits, they'll mail you one. But so I'm just looking at the agenda real quick. So it's gonna registration starts at 7 a.m. So again, you can get there early, get your box, go through it, take your stuff to your car, and then have time to come back and relax and go through your stuff. General session opens at 9, and then we do have a break from 10:30 to 10:45. There's going to be 4 breakouts. So when you get your workbook, it'll have most likely a list of all the breakouts. I wouldn't pick just 4 because sometimes they fill up. So I would definitely pick a couple, like maybe 8, so you have a backup. But definitely go for the things that you feel you need to grow in. There is going to be a 15-minute transition between each breakout, and then it's going to be done at around 5. Dang it, I just had it. What was I going to say?
Girl, and you're young too.
I've been awake since 5.
And no kids that have kids got your brain power.
I've taught like 8 classes this week.
Oh my god.
What was I going to say? There's something about training. Oh, it'll come back to me.
Okay. So as far as breakouts, just basically the idea as far as what you're choosing is, you know, where do you really want to grow in, and or what are you struggling in? So you want to go get new ideas. But the only thing is don't limit yourself, because you may think that you're doing well in a certain area. It doesn't hurt to still go and get different perspectives, and you may learn one new thing that just amplifies your success in that area. You may be a rock star at home parties, but you go into this breakout, and all of a sudden they're talking about home parties in a way that you've never even thought of doing it that way. And so it's always good to try new things and learn new things. And remember that what are your guys' sessions? They're both going to be doing, what are they called?
Expos.
Expos. They're both doing expos. I'm doing a breakout. And so the breakouts are 45 minutes long. So you go into these breakouts, and then in between, am I right? Or did they change that?
No. So the expo, it's considered one of the breakout sessions. So during one of your 45-minute breakout sessions, you have the option to go to the expo as your breakout section, and there's basically going to be a ton of tables with a bunch of different trainers, including me. Are you going to Riverside, Liz?
No, I'm
She's
going
in
okay.
Phoenix.
I'll be in Riverside. She'll be in Phoenix. So each table will basically have a topic. So like mine's bookings. So you can go around this expo during that 45 minutes and go to different tables and be like, ooh, I want to learn what she has to say. Oh, I want to hear about recruiting. I want to hear about bookings. I want to hear. So, and then it's more of like a casual setting. So you can just straight up be like, I want to know about this. I have a question about this. So it's more just kind of back and forth interaction rather than sitting in a breakout session and listening. So it's more interactive.
Give you a chance to stretch your legs out as well.
True.
And get more information on more topics than just spending 45 minutes on one topic.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'm glad I asked, because I didn't understand, because we kept getting emails with changes and
they finally
it's brand new. So it'll be interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we've never done that before. Breakouts, we just started in 2013. So we've only been doing breakouts for Spring Sprint for 3 years. But the expos are new. So I'm like, I'm glad I'm not doing them because I'm used to my breakouts. But maybe next year I'll do an expo. I don't know. But so I'm glad that you guys clarified that, because I have I didn't know that that's how that worked. So basically, you know, you may have a topic that you really want to get as much training, or you may want to see a certain speaker that you've been following on YouTube, or you know them, you've heard them train, you've met them before, you know they're really good in a certain area, and you're like, oh my God, I have to go to that breakout. But the rest, maybe you're going to go to expos the rest of the day. That's the cool thing about it, is that whoever you are and wherever you are in your business and wherever you want to take your business, you get to basically customize the training that you're going to get, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And we'll see how it works. Now, remember to be patient. Please be patient. Show Scentsy spirit. There's going to be people that don't and that aren't patient in line, and they may not like the concept of expos, and they're not used to it, and they're kind of set in their ways. So, you know, be the light of, you know, Jessy's Angels group. We have such amazing, positive people in our group. So share that with these people that may not have a group that is as positive or doesn't encourage them as much. So share that and let them know that everything's going to be okay. And, you know, just to be patient, and everything happens for a reason. And, you know, Scentsy always works things out. This is the first time we've done expos. Hopefully it's going to go great. But if it doesn't, it's just a trial. And we want, they're just always trying to make things better. And we anticipate it's going to be a better situation.
Are you talking about the expos?
No, everything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, people waiting in line to register. Sometimes there's chaos there, like, oh, it's taking so long and blah, 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 blah. What I'm trying to say is you be the person to be example. You know, one thing I'll say, and this is not just me being biased because it's our group. Honestly, our group's name, the Jessy's Angels logo, if you're attached to that, people, you know, respect it. They know that it's a positive thing. And if you're a part of that, they automatically know that, they just assume that you're a positive person. So represent that. And so if you see somebody not really understanding Scentsy spirit and what this company is really about, you know, bettering yourself as a person, share that concept with them. You know, maybe they need a hug. Maybe they had a bad day, or maybe they had a bad situation before they got to World Tour. So take them under your wing, and, you know, maybe ask them if they want to come with you to the next expo, or the next, maybe they're there by themselves and they don't have a team. So they're just like, I'm lonely. I'm not having fun. Do the better, you know, be the bigger person, and invite them to maybe sit with you, and share your, you know, your knowledge or your friendship with them. That's what I suggest.
To kind of piggyback off that too, if you do go with your team or with friends, don't be afraid to go to a training by yourself. Don't, like, birds of a feather flock together and let's all go to the same trainings, but I don't really want to go to this, but I don't want to be alone. Don't be afraid to go to trainings by yourself and network and meet other people from different teams. And if you do meet someone who's alone and kind of, you know, you've noticed is kind of just off and shy and a little uncomfortable, approach them. Hey, come to trainings with me. Let's go check this out. So don't be afraid, like, get out of your comfort zone. Yay. It's okay to go by yourself. It's okay to do a new topic that you're totally freaked out by. Like, just,
and participate, because you just never know what the reward's going to be from that as well.
Oh, see, I'm glad. I'm going to piggyback on both of what they just said. One, it is so true to, you know, when you're sticking around the same people you always go to trainings with. Say you live in the same town and you're all coming, for example, we all live in Vegas, and I'm going to both locations they're at. So, you know, going to the same, you know, breakout sessions, we'll just say, for example, if we just all went to the same thing together, we're missing out on opportunity, because there's all these other trainings. If you spread out, if you are going with people, there's more, then you can all get together later on at a team meeting and share what you learned. So you're all getting the training and not feeling like, okay, we all, you know, sat and we missed out on this, this, and this, because, you know, we didn't maximize our opportunity. And when she said participate, oh God, now I can't remember what I was going to say when you said participate.
Rewards. They never know what kind of.
Oh, thank you. Well, what I was going to say, well, okay, that's also a very good important part of it. Yeah, lots of giveaways, so don't leave early. But what I was going to talk about is that don't be afraid to ask questions. If they say, you know, it's Q&A, does anybody have any questions? Raise your hand. Don't be scared and go, oh, I should know this, or this is a stupid question. We all kind of revert back to like elementary school when it comes to these things, and we get like nervous, like, oh, I don't want to be the dumb one that asks the question. Because I can guarantee you there's probably, you know, 90% of that room is thinking and wondering the same thing. And if they're not, who cares? You need to go there and get your answers. And if, you know, you hesitate to get your answers just because you're worried about what other people think, you're only hurting yourself. You're not hurting them because they understand it. So, you know, and don't be afraid to go up to your speaker, your breakout people, your expo trainers, and say, hey, you know, I love this concept, but can you clarify? Can you give me an example? Can you give me a tool that you can direct me to that'll help me in this area elaborate more or whatever? And I promise you, they will be very happy to say, hey, this is my YouTube channel. I've got tons of training on this, or here's my email address, or, oh, I know this one person has this training in the workstation. Go to this specific training or whatever. They're all there to help you. So don't be bashful. Don't be shy. You know, just know that this is for you, and you don't want to leave there saying, I got nothing out of this, and I spent all this money, I spent all this time, and I'm still struggling with everything that I was struggling with before. So open your mind, be willing to receive new things, and try new things.
And on the other side, for trainers, we want you to ask questions.
Yes, we do.
Nothing's worse than doing this amazing you think is an amazing training. It's like, any questions? And it's just
crickets.
Staring at you, and you're like, they hate me. So ask us questions. That's what we're here for. Like, that's what we crave, is like, let us share with you. So
yes.
please ask questions. If
Very
nobody's
true.
asking questions, make one up. Okay?
Right?
Just like start that. Sometimes it takes like that first person to ask a question before people are like, okay, I'm gonna ask two, and I'm gonna ask two, and I'm gonna ask two. So sometimes you gotta be that person, just be like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
It's like starting the dance floor.
Yes. And so, you know what's so funny is that, you know, I am really big on asking questions that I know other people may be wondering. I may know the answer.
Or share your ideas, because there might be something that you do that works for you, that was wonderful, that maybe that trainer or someone in that room could be a gold mine for as well. So
as a trainer, sometimes in our minds, we know what we're trying to say and we know the concept, but we may miss one little detail that we think we said, or we think you understand, but it was such a big detail that everybody in the room is like, what? And so if you catch that, don't be afraid to say, you know what? I have a question. Can you elaborate and clarify what you mean by this? And, you know, that might just put all of the pieces to the puzzle together by you, you know, asking. And again, you may understand it. You may go, I get what you're saying, Jess, because I know you, or I know how you work, or I get the concept because I do it myself. But because you left this one part out, I know everybody in this room is like, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. So bring up the question and say, hey, what does that mean? And again, don't be afraid for people to think like, oh, she doesn't know what that means. Who cares?
So kind of funny story that's relevant to that. When I joined in September. So I missed the transition month. And right before spring sprint, or well, it was spring sprint last year, I just kept hearing transition month. And I'm like, what is a transition month? And I was like, everybody knows what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't want to look like an idiot. And finally, like 2 days before spring sprint, I text her and I'm like, what the heck is a transition month? Like, I keep hearing this, and she's like, oh my God. So don't be afraid to ask, because you don't want to be completely lost. So it literally took me, like, let's say I joined in September and I didn't ask till February what it was. So don't do that, okay? Yeah. By the way, a transition month is our switch from the, like, say, fall catalog to spring catalog. So just now you know.
Why we do our world tour, it's we're getting ready to transition into the spring catalog. So we're, you know, that's why by going, you get to see products, you get to get the catalogs and
smell everything
before everybody else. So there's so many perks to being involved. Like Liz said, participating in, I recommend to be involved in every home office event that's possible if you can do it. They give you enough time to plan. Like if you're not planning on going to reunion, start planning now. If you have directors that have these type of training calls or YouTube trainings or team meetings, participate, because you will be amazed how much progress you will get in your business just by that connection, because they're not where they are, or I'm not where I am at because we didn't show up to team meetings or we didn't listen to training calls. It's because of this connection, and we continue to duplicate that with our teams. Like, we got the connection and now we're doing that all for you. So thank you for watching, because you obviously do want to know and be successful in your business. If you're coming to Riverside or Phoenix, we'll all see you there. And we're excited for you guys. Yay. If you have any questions that we didn't cover, like we said, don't be bashful to ask. You can comment below in this video. You can ask on Facebook. You can email or call one of us. But I will tell you, if you have the question, everybody else probably wants to know. So comment below too, so everybody else can see the answers and the questions.
Yes. Comment below.
Yes.
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 I second that. All right. Have a sensational day. Bye, guys.
Bye.